Hey everybody, what's going on? I wanted to show you guys my tank. Yesterday I was showing my tank and showing how I cleaned it up a little bit. So after the filtered all that crap out, it's looking a lot better. It's not looking great, but it's looking a lot better. At least you can see the fish. There's a little pump that you can buy that it's like a little vacuum. And you see all that crap that's on the bottom? That, I guess black or brown, whatever you want to call it. What you do is you take and you suck that stuff up, right? And it doesn't suck up the rocks, but it sucks up all that nasty crap at the bottom. And I need to get me one of those pumps. I am not going to take this thing all the way apart like I did the last time. That is just not worth it because within about a month it was in bad shape again. All right, guys, so excuse me. Here we are in the dark. Hang on, let me get some lights on here. All right, everybody. So, yesterday was Valentine's Day. And I feel kind of like I screwed up a little bit. Because I didn't get nothing from my wife. Don't think I'm a jerk. I'll explain. Hang on. Let me come over here. Okay, so my wife and I have been together for 14 years. It's a little bit of time to be together. And we had a discussion about what we were going to do for Valentine's. And I said, let's wait until Sunday, because Valentine's is on a Saturday. Let's wait until Sunday. And there's a town about 35 miles from where we live called Great Bend, Kansas. Shout out to Great Bend if anybody watches this and they're from Great Bend. All right, we like going to Great Bend. In this little town, there is a Mexican store that makes Mexican pastries, which are absolutely delicious. If you guys ever try a Mexican pastry, they are delicious. Okay. Oh, I had a piece of candy, but I don't seem to know where it's at. So, what's up, everybody? Good morning. So anyways, the plan was that we were going to go to Great Bend for Valentine's. We like to eat at Freddy's. I don't know if y'all have a Freddy's or not, but can't get enough of that Freddy's, man. That's some good, that's some really good food. Okay, so the plan was we're gonna go to Freddy's, we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna go. We'll probably go to Walmart, cause I'll probably have to go to the bathroom by then, and we're gonna go to Walmart. And I said, we go to Walmart, you can pick out. She loves plants. I said, pick up a plant, get a plant, get some flowers, whatever you want to get for Valentine's. That'll be good. My wife agreed with me. She said, yeah, that's cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? Good morning. And so that was the plan. Okay. Well, yesterday, my wife works in a nursing home. There's a woman in the nursing home that has dementia really bad. And she's in her 90s. And her husband lives here in town. And he's in his 90s. And he goes to visit her every day. Well, yesterday he took her a big bouquet of red roses, a dozen red roses. So that kind of hit it to my wife, you know. Oh, wow. This guy, you know, brings his wife. They've been married for like ever, right? They're in their 90s. They've been married since they were probably in their 20s. And then my wife said, this guy, you know, brings his wife flowers and everything. And my husband didn't do shit for me. So I was kind of in the doghouse, man. So I felt a little bit bad, but you know, we had talked about it, and we discussed, you know, what we were gonna do, and I didn't get her anything because we're gonna go celebrate Valentine's today. She's in the shower. I'm doing my live stream, and then we're gonna take off, and we're gonna go over there and do our thing, man. After we get done at Walmart, we're gonna go to this Mexican store. It's a little store. They sell all kinds of Mexican stuff like candy and food and meat, cheese, all kinds of stuff. We go over there, usually get some cookies and some pastries, you know. And then we just drive home slow. You know, we take the country, we take the back road and just drive slow and look at everything and talk. And we always look for animals, like if we see like some deers or something, we kind of look at that and kind of, you know, like slow down and smell the roses type of deal. Did I get my guitar earlier? I did, didn't I? And then I put it back. I'm losing my marbles, man. I tell you, getting old, man. Starting to lose your marbles. Okay, so. I want like that look. I wanted to kind of mention something. We watch church on TV on Sundays. We we live in an area that's kind of strange. People are a little bit different out here, and not to get political, but you know, I have to say the truth. Okay, I mean, I just have to be truthful. I'm not a liar. I don't like being a liar. I don't like lying. I like being very truthful. I have a very hard time going to sitting in a church with a bunch of people that I know are Republicans and that voted for Trump and that agree with everything that Trump is doing. I have a very hard time with that. You know, the one thing about my dad never went to church. I never seen my dad in church. And I asked him one time why we didn't go to church. And he said, church is nothing but a bunch of hypocrites. They go in there, they're fake as hell. They, you know, they act like they're, you know, so godly. And then they go home and they drink and they smoke and they cuss and they cheat and they steal and you know. And he said, I just, you know, I don't have to go to church to be like that. I could be like that without going to church. All right, cool, man. Okay. Well, people in all churches are kind of fake. You know, oh man, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so happy that you're here. Okay, and then you run into those same people at the store. They don't act like that at the store, right? They don't act like that at the street. They don't act like that at the rec center. They only act like that in church. And I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not going to get too political. I don't want people to unsubscribe from my channel, okay? But the main thing that I don't like that's going on in the country right now is the cruelty to people that are from other countries. You know that song, Yellow, Brown, Black or White? They are precious in his sight. Jesus loves all the children of the world, right? Okay, if you're here illegally, that is a crime. I understand that. And maybe you should be deported. All right, I'm okay with that. But I'm not okay with being cruel to people. I'm not okay with pushing people down on the ground, shooting people with paintball guns, spraying people in the face with mace, actually shooting people and killing people, ramming their doors down. How would you feel, man? Ask yourself, how would you feel if you're sitting there having dinner or doing whatever and someone comes and knocks your door down, right? And then comes in and takes some of your family members. And then you can't find them. No one will help you find your family members. You don't know where they're at, right? Just think about that for a while. It doesn't really matter if you're black or if you're brown, if you're Chinese, you know, if you're where, it doesn't really matter where you're from. We all deserve to be treated kindly, you know. If you want to deport people, do it the proper way. Get them, take them to court, and send them back to their home. I think everybody's okay with that. All right, enough of that, about that. I was watching church on TV because we just, that's how we prefer to go to church right now, okay? The service today was about being kind, all right? Being kind. Be kind to people. When you interact with people, be kind to them. Like, I'm going to give you an example. There's a lot of kids. I think they're kids. And I don't know at what age these kids are. I really have no idea. I'm guessing 10, 11, on up to teenage, maybe older. But when they see me on a live stream, they will come on and they will say nasty things to me, right? Oh, you look like a woman. Oh, you got a lot of fat on your neck. Oh, how old are you? You look so old. Oh, you sound like a woman. You act stupid. One kid said your fingers look like sausages. I mean, just, you know, on and on and on and on. Just who's raising these kids? Huh? Tell me that. If my kid, when he was that age, if I caught him doing that to somebody, I would punish my kid, okay? If he did it to where I seen it, I'd probably slap him across the face. For you kids that are watching me, or for the people that are watching me, please do not treat people bad, okay? I know when I was a kid, and it's just something that kids do, right? Especially when you're with your friends. We made fun of people. We did. And I feel bad about it now. And I wish there would have been someone there to say, hey, don't do that, man. Don't do that. The one thing about it, when you're young, you don't really stop and think about it. But at some time in your life, if you make it to be old, you will be old. Your skin will get flabby, okay? Your hair will fall out, all right? When you see an old person, just keep in your mind that you're going to be like that person someday. If you're lucky enough to get to be that old, you will be like that person. When I go to the nursing homes and I put on shows for the older people, it really does. I really do think about that when I'm playing and I'm looking at those people out there, right? I think to myself, that guy right there, it looks like that's what I'm going to look like when I'm almost 90. So yeah, man, I mean, and it's going to be here before you know it, right? I'm 63. Those 63 years went by so fast. I mean, it's amazing to me that I'm 63, but I am. And that's the other thing is when you're young, you think, well, I'll smoke a little weed, I'll drink a little booze, I'll smoke some cigarettes. It's all good, man. My body's strong. I'm not ever gonna, that stuff's not gonna hurt me. And it does, okay? It does. It all adds up, right? It all adds up, man. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but I was gonna say, like, it's like if you have like a box and you're throwing like rocks, like little rocks. They throw like a little rock right like that in this big box, right? And that's not gonna bother nothing. You keep throwing those little rocks in there, right? That's what smoking's like. That's what drinking's like. You're just throwing in little rocks, right? But then several years later, you can't pick the box up because it's too heavy, man. Well, that's kind of like your body, right? I know it's kind of a weird way to look at it, but that's just kind of what came to my mind, right? You keep smoking, you keep drinking, you keep smoking weed. You're putting those little rocks inside of you, man. And then one day, you're not going to be able to carry your body. You're going to be old, you're going to be sick. You're going to say, oh my God, why did I do that? Why was I so stupid to do that? I mean, that's how I feel, right? I smoked cigarettes, I smoked weed, I drank booze like crazy. Yeah, if I could go back in time, you can't. I mean, when time is time, man. When you're there, you're there. That's that. If I could redo my life, that's the things that I would focus on the most, okay? Be healthier. Don't drink. Don't smoke. You only get one body. You only get health one time. When it's gone, you can't get it back. And then, as you get older, you have a lot of pain. You have pains in your knees, in your legs, in your neck, in your arms. And this pain don't go away. It's there, right? For the rest of your life, you're dealing with this pain. Okay, that's enough of that. Did anybody do anything special for Valentine's? That's going to be my question for the day. The other thing I'm going to say to people is if you want to learn how to play some kind of an instrument, it's never too late. Well, I mean, when you're in your 90s, it might be 80s or 90s, it might be a little too late, it might be. Let me redo that. Now I can't do it. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let me see if I can get this right. Oh, man. Sometimes when you lose it, you just lose it, man. Am I cool? I guess I'm cool, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. When I was young, well, when I was a kid, I was the class clown. Okay, I had a learning disability, and I couldn't really do schoolwork very good, but I could make everybody laugh. So that's what I did. That was my job, man. I was the clown of the class. When I got a little bit older and I started hanging out, like going to parties and stuff like that, I was always like the guy that was over there being funny, making everybody laugh. Um, so yeah, and I never worried about whether you want to be my friend or not. You know what I mean? I just wasn't that type of person. If you didn't want to be my, there we go. Ah, I'm having a hard time with that today. There we go. But yeah, when I was young, like a teenager, even when I was a kid, I never worried about if someone wanted to be my friend or not. I just say, you want to be my friend? That's cool. We'll be friends. If you don't want to be my friend, that's cool too. Go over there and be with those people. And just, leave me alone. If you don't want to be my friend, that's okay. Yeah, okay. I'm still that way today, man, to be honest with you. If someone says, I don't like the way you play music, I say, I don't care. If someone says, I don't like the music you play, I say, I don't care. I don't like the music you listen to. I say, that's fine. When someone says, hey man, you ought to try doing this, you ought to try doing that, with your music, I just say, you do that. Okay? If you think that's a good idea and that's how you like things, then you do that. Right? I'm going to do things the way I like it and do things the way I want to do it. All right? Haven't lost my marbles completely. I'm working on it. But for everybody that's watching me right now, I got a whole 2 people. But you never know who's going to watch this video later, right? Try to be kind to people. If you got someone in your school or where you work that's different, maybe they're overweight, maybe they're too skinny, maybe they're not the best looking person in the world, maybe they don't like the same ideas when it comes to loving somebody, just try to understand that person, okay? You don't need to try to change the person. You don't need to make fun of the person. You don't need to treat them bad because they're different than you are. Just try to be kind to them. Even if they don't want to, be your friend. When you see them, say hello. All right. So, I've asked this a couple of times and nobody answered me. Do you guys have a Freddy's where you live? Do you all know what a Freddy's is? It's a hamburger joint. It's a place where you go to eat hamburgers, man. They have the most delicious hamburgers. I'm telling you, they are so good. But here's the crazy thing about it, man. All the towns that we live around have a Freddy's. Okay, Hayes has a Freddy's. Salina has a Freddy's. I mean, they're everywhere out here. Well, they fix them different. Some of the Freddy's don't fix them as good as other ones. So, hey, what's up? How you doing, man? I'm trying to see, I can't see by your picture, are you a man or a woman? All right, man. That's what I like to do, guys. I like to play around my guitars. It takes a long time for me to get tired of playing around with my guitars. I'm sorry, my friend, but I don't know what you're saying. Okay, anyways. Yeah, man, yeah. My stomach is hungry, too. I'm ready for some Freddy's. Ready for some Freddy's. They ought to make a commercial like that, right? Put me on there, huh? I'll say, hey, man, I'm ready for some Freddy's. Yeah, the best hamburger joint in town. Back where I lived in Colorado, there was this little, it was like a little building on the side of the road. I mean, literally, just like a little building. Like a little shed that you'd keep your tools in. I'm serious. It wasn't very big at all. It was an old man and his wife. It was called Big Daddy's. And the hamburgers there, they were better than Freddy's. They were so good, man. And they were like big. I mean, I'm trying to show you. They were big like that. Man, they were so good. But you don't want to look inside. When you look inside and see where they're cooking those hamburgers, you're gonna go, oh boy, that's nasty. Well, they were in business for a lot of years, and cooking hamburgers and frying French fries and onion rings makes a lot of grease. Then I guess like the older you get, the harder it is to keep things clean. But yeah, they were the best, man. Well, like I say, it's harder to keep things clean, especially when you get a little older. But I think the place is still there. The old man and the old woman retired, and it was one of their family members. I don't know if it was one of their kids or not, but one of their family members took over, and they made a few changes here and there. So things weren't as good as they used to be, but they're still okay. If you go to Brighton, no, wait a minute. Not Brighton. Is it in Brighton? Let me think a minute. Fort Lupton. Is it Fort Lupton? I think it was in Fort Lupton. Yeah, Fort Lupton. Fort Lupton, Colorado. Shout out to Fort Lupton, y'all. Shout out to Big Daddies. All right, y'all. I'm going to cut this quick because, like I said, we're going to split out of here, man. We're going to go cruising over and get us something to eat. Let's see. We got a fire weather watch, extreme grass fire. Oh, shit. You wouldn't think that the grass would, when it catches on fire, right? You wouldn't think that it would cause that big of a problem. But the grass that they're talking about is out in these fields, and that stuff is up about 2 feet high, and it gets really super dry, and big fields of it, right? With hills, and there's some rocky areas. It's a really hard place to get to, and then every now and then you got a couple of houses out there, so, and people put their cattle out there. So what'll happen? Somebody, usually it's people driving by, and they'll throw a cigarette out. Or it could be that someone's burning their trash, right? In the country, they burn their trash. And then a little spark of that trash goes out because of the wind. And when it starts a fire, that fire spreads like you would not believe. It'll cause some major damage. If it gets big, you know, before they get out there and put it out, if it gets big, it's real bad. It kills a lot of livestock. It burns up people's houses. Not usually do people die because, you know, they're smart enough to get out of there. They see the fire and they leave, you know, and they're smart enough to leave. There has been a couple of times since I've lived out here where people have died because they were trying to put the fire out with a garden hose. I don't know if I'd try that or not, to be honest with you. It's kind of a hard call to make, man. If you think your house is going to burn down with all your stuff in it, you know, do you throw your guitars in the car and haul ass? Or do you try to put the fire out? I don't know, man. I guess it would depend on how big that fire looked, right? I don't know. I hate to have to make that call. I hope I never have to be honest with you. Okay, guys. So it was very nice chatting with y'all today. Sunday, February the 15th. Today is my sister's birthday. Love you, sis. Hope you have a nice birthday. I keep teasing her because she's 60 and she didn't want to be 60. She's one of these people that is fighting this getting old, you know. She's fighting it, man. She don't want to get wrinkles. She don't want her hair to get gray. She don't want to get old. But, yeah, you can only fight that so much, man. It'll catch up. It'll catch you, man. You'll get it. You'll get it eventually. But anyways, y'all take care. Have a nice day. Be kind to somebody, would you please? I am a very kind person. For the most part. I do have a short temper, and I have been unkind to people in my life. But for the most part, I am a kind person. I try to be nice to people when I talk to them. I try not to say rude things. Even when someone says something rude to me, I try just to, brush it off and just go away. I don't want no conflict with nobody. Look, I've been married 3 times. I've been divorced twice. I've raised 2 kids and a stepson. I know what it is to be like stressed out and angry and mad. And, sometimes you can't help it, right? When you get stressed out, stress is a bad thing, man. It causes people to do weird stuff. It's hard to be kind when you're stressed out. I will say that. But just try to be nice to people. And try not to judge people, especially if they're a different race than you are, right? Try not to do that. It's not really a good thing. It's better to try to get to know that person, right? If you have someone that someone that's in your town or in the area where you live or somewhere where you work, and they're not the same race as you are, do you know what's interesting is try to get to know their culture. That's better, right? Ask them if you can come have dinner with them. If you say like, hey man, I'm really interested in seeing, like tasting some of the food you guys eat. Could I maybe come over and try some of your food? Or, I mean, I'll buy the food if you guys fix it. Try to learn about their culture. You might be shocked. All right, y'all. Robert with Guitar Journeys. Yeah, man. I'm going to go get me some grub. This fat old man's going to have wolf down a hamburger. So peace out, y'all. Have a nice day.